Hey there, Adam Winch here with Defenders USA. I'm in the business of creating dangerous people, right? That's my job, to train people to become good at what they do with defensive tools, mainly guns, but more importantly with their mind and with their heart. And that's my business, create dangerous people. Now, granted, when I say that, I mean with an moral, legal, ethical compass, being largely legal in what they do. But I guess the point to all this is, are you a dangerous person? And when I define dangerous, I define somebody as who's able to follow the laws, understands the laws well, who is able to follow the socially acceptable rules amongst our society. But at the same time, when it comes time to loose the bounds of violence, can do so with extremity, right? Can create utter havoc and violence on those who need it in the moment they need it for the right reasons. Are you a dangerous person? I have made it my life's task to be a dangerous person. Now, when I first started off as a soldier, I went in thinking, tough kid and all that stuff. I'm kind of dangerous. So I go into the Army, right? And they train me to kill, to break things, to do stuff like that, to sing the spirit of the bayonet, all that good stuff. And I walked out of there feeling like, okay, I'm kind of a warrior now. Not completely, but kind of. Then later, moved into an MP, and then SRT, QRF, VRT, PSB, right? Warrior. And felt like, I kind of had a corner on the warrior market. I'm doing pretty good here. And then later became a cop. And I found out I wasn't nearly as dangerous as a police officer as I thought I was. Right? In fact, in the FTO program, or the Field Training Officer program, when I first started, my training officers kept trying to get me into fights. I mean, purposely, they'd say, like, our job tonight is try to get you in a fight. They'd even talk about themselves, hey, we got to get Winch into a fight here. Because they hadn't seen me fight yet. I hadn't had the opportunity to get into a good fight. They hadn't seen my capabilities in violence, right? Whether I was going to do it well, with an appropriate amount of force, or enough force, or overwhelming force. It wasn't going to be legal, right? Would it follow the departmental guidelines? And they kept trying to get me into fights. Finally, they get me into a fight one time. And it's time to fight. And here I patty caked around with this guy. I kind of thumped on him a little bit. I kind of arm barred him, not with great enthusiasm. I didn't want to hurt him because, I grew up as a nice little kid in a good pastor's missionary's home. And, it wasn't total turn the other cheek. I mean, my parents aren't that way. But, it was just be nice to people. So even though I was a soldier by that time, I still hadn't exacted violence on people for real. So in this use of force, I'm patty caking with this guy. When it all gets done, because there was a couple firefighters there and stuff, and cops, and they all just kind of looked at me, and they all kind of said something to the effect of, that drug on a lot longer, all because you kind of took it easy and slow. My FTO at the time, we'll call him Sean. My FTO at the time, Sean, goes, you've been a lot more assertive in that, and a lot more willing to engage in violence. Again, I'm using my words to interpret what he actually said. That had been done sooner, faster, better, and you wouldn't look like a weenie, right? Later, another one of my FTOs, and we'll call this guy, let's just call him Arcady for whatever reason. So that guy, as we're talking about this, he said something that literally changed my life, changed my career. He said, I want you to be a junkyard dog on a chain. I thought, it's interesting. A junkyard dog on a chain. All right. And I started cultivating the mentality, the heart set, and also the physical skills to be a junkyard dog on a chain. I'll tell you what, my capabilities, once I made certain decisions and worked really hard and did a lot of things to become a junkyard dog on a chain, my capabilities, or my danger factor, if you want to call it that, skyrocketed. And the more I became comfortable with violence, because in the police world, I had to use violence often, sometimes extreme violence. And I soon developed a comfort within it. I would say even a skill, and even, an enjoyment in violence, but only when it's necessary, when it's moral, legal, and right. And it's not an enjoyment of violence, it's an enjoyment of being able to show that I could use the skills I had honed and cultivated and do them extraordinarily well at sociologically and societally acceptable levels to accomplish moral, legal tasks. And just like the person takes pride in their ability to maybe write a book or sing a song because they practiced for so long, or play a piano, or do accounting in a certain way because they've worked so long to be a good bookkeeper and accountant, or to practice law or to practice medicine with such a high degree of skill, and they truly enjoy that because they've worked at it so hard, I, in the same way, began to enjoy the moral, ethical, legal use of violence. Again, as appropriate as needed for the situation. Later, when I started this company, Defenders USA, it was me trying to, in some ways, translate those skills, that mindset, and really that heart set, because I think those are even more important than the skills themselves. Translate those to those that I get the blessing to train. And now I, and those who are coming on board with Defenders USA to be instructors, candidate instructors with us, are in the business of creating dangerous people. Again, moral, legal, ethical, all that other stuff. But, to be able to do that, that means that I personally, and then my instructors, those with Defenders USA, my partners here, and we've also got to work hard to maintain those skills. And I know I've put an inordinate amount of time into maintaining the skills of extreme lethality. Or if not lethality, extreme violence. At a skilled level. And I think that if you are the person who carries a gun in defense of life, and you are willing to defend yourself, defend those you love, in moments of pure evil. But if you're going to be that person who carries that thing, you need to also hone the capability to be extraordinarily dangerous. I'll tell you something, I truly respect people that they seem like they're just nice, kind, normal, gentle, everyday people who do phenomenal things on a daily basis. But when the time comes to pull the dragon out of the closet, they do. And you see it. And I get the blessing of being able to see that on the range and in the classrooms that I go to, seeing warriors come out of the shadows of those who are normally everyday citizens. Or sometimes when I train cops, I see, the cop on the street who's got to be, he or she has got to be polite and kind and respectful and everything else. Yet after a while on the range, what they've done, their police world and everything else, we see the warrior come out. Soldiers, when I get to train soldiers, they all come in thinking they're warriors, right? And, some of them actually are. And we spend time, and I see that machinations of the heart, of the head, come together with the skills that they have, whether it's rifle, handgun, hand-to-hand with knives, or just BFR, right? Pick up a big old rock and bash somebody in the head with if you need to. It's cool to see that warrior come out of these people who just seem on a normal daily basis as just everyday people. Are you a dangerous person? If you're going to carry a gun in defense of life, you must cultivate being a dangerous person. Just this last weekend, I had the opportunity to go to some training with a man that, when I first saw him, I thought, he didn't look like a warrior. No, he looked like a bookkeeper, an accountant, a computer guy. In fact, he called himself a nerd, a tactical Timmy. After I watched this man, I guess I can name him. His name is Gabe White, with Gabe White Training. After spending some day with him, by about the middle of the day 2 of our training with him, it suddenly dawned on me that I was sitting in the presence of one of the most lethal men I've ever met. And he looked like an accountant. The dude sitting in the basement playing video games. I mean, he did not look like a warrior. But then he gave a speech towards the end of it and went about an hour long. I was so appreciative because he had the same mindset I do. It was heartening to see the warrior inside that man as he also cried out for other warriors to be awakened. That's kind of been my mission's task, is to create warriors. I hope to do that through our company. Take a lot of you who will come to us. Yeah, we'll make you better shooters. Yeah, we'll make you better tacticians, a better SWAT guy, a better long range or precision or sniper, a better shooter with a handgun for the guy or the girl who's carrying a gun, defensive life daily as a civilian as they go about their life. We'll make you a lot better in the physical skills. But more importantly, are you dangerous inside here and here? And that's what we do. That's what we do at Defenders. We're here to create extraordinarily dangerous, legal, but extraordinarily dangerous people. I guess this is a call to you. Come see us. We'll make you better at the physical skills. And if you open your heart and your minds, we'll also make you better here as the warrior that I think we as a society need, that those who love you and depend on you need, and that honestly that you need. Are you a dangerous person? Can we hone the tactics for you to be a righteous junkyard dog on a chain? And I imagine the chain as the legal and the moral bounds that constrain you to use violence only, not only when desperately needed. That's right, legal, ethical, moral. But are you the trained junkyard that if the chains need loosed, can you take care of business in a way that's even extreme if it has to be? Just some thoughts, some musings. If you like this at all, like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do. It'll be on our YouTube channel. We have a Defenders USA Facebook page. Please go to that one, like it. For those of you who've been part of the Defenders USA training, we have a Defenders USA Facebook alumni page. It'd be nice if you came to that. You got to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, even if I know you personally, you cannot get on that page. You have to answer the questions, all right, to get a part of that group. We have a YouTube channel, like all that stuff. But more importantly, come see us for training. If you don't want to come see us, you can't come see us, you're a long ways away from us, and you want to find some really good training out there, I am so fortunate to have tied into, and Defenders USA, we as a whole, have been able to tie into some of the best trainers in the world, who are some of those wonderful people, yet also extraordinarily lethal. And if you can't come see us, call us, email us, text me, whatever you got to do, get a hold of us. We'll point you towards some of the other phenomenal trainers that spread across this country, and yes, even the world. Hey, Canada, I got somebody up there you need to go see. Africa, I got some people there you need to see. Europe, I know some folks there you need to go see. But anyways, we'd love to see you. Let's cultivate this inside. Take care. Adam Winch, Defenders USA.